Sarel, have you ever had something scandalous happen to you? Like something you wouldn't want anyone to find out?
I don't know. The fact that I do monologues in the mirror at home by myself.
I wouldn't say that's scandalous. I'd say it's just trage.
Well, that was rude. that was mean.
Is somebody going to match my freak? Not sure.
I don't think I'm built for that kind of exposure of like, I don't know, being a scandalous, salacious celeb.
No, maybe you're not. No. Not like front page news, paparazzi at your door, your relationship status on everybody's lips.
No.
No? Okay. Well, for celebrities, it's part and parcel of being famous, isn't it? But what happens when a crisis happens? Do you address it publicly? Maybe you put out an apology on social media? In today's episode, we're going to be looking at a few iconic examples from Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine's viral Instagram apology,
Classic.
which I was obsessed with.
Classic.
For all the wrong reasons. To Kristen Stewart's apology after cheating on her with Pattinson. How dare she? And the iconic note for the press from Dominic West after he got cozy with Lily James. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarel.
And I'm Jack Remmington, and this is Famously in Love, the podcast where we unpack the sometimes unrelatable mad world of celebrity love stories.
And they can seriously be so unrelatable. I mean, have you ever written a song and made loads of money off of the back of it?
1, 2, 3, 4. No, not yet, but give it time. Circle back. From BBC Sounds, this is Famously in Love. Okay, so today I want to look at celebrity relationships through a very different lens.
Okay, I'm listening.
Public apologies. What comes to mind when I say this?
Notes apps.
Yeah.
Notes apps.
Same.
And you know, my favourite thing with a Notes app apology is they will do the apology in Notes, screenshot it, post it, and then their caption is also the apology.
Yeah.
So you get double the apology.
And yet, half of the actual resolve and understanding.
Terrible.
There's a really funny reaction meme that people use in response to a long amount of text on Twitter that's like, I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though. Or sorry that it happened.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'll hit either base with that response.
One or the other.
I can't be arsed. I remember when Camilla left Fifth Harmony, it was such a long-winded parting note that people were like, I presume she's leaving, but I'm not even going to get through all that. I'll wait for someone else to digest
Don't care enough. Don't care enough.
So watching a celeb manage that crisis is one of my favourite things to see. Or not manage it is the point. Navigate the life of post
situation.
Post Notes app post.
Yeah.
So I think we should start with the recent one to see how it was handled and if we can learn anything from it. Okay? So we have Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine of Moves Like Jagger fame.
Yeah.
They do have some real bangers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maroon 5.
Yeah. Songs about Jane era.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Okay.
They're the ones who sing, "As you will be loved."
Yeah, as if they were pretending to be Cher. So he is married to model Behati Prinsloo.
Okay.
And they have 3 children together. So in September 2022, 8 years into their marriage, numerous women claim that Adam slid into their DMs.
Numerous.
So Behati, his wife, was pregnant at the time, and it started when Instagram model Sumner Stroh said that he'd cheated with her for a year and, wait for it, even asked her if he could name his baby, his unborn baby, which was growing inside another woman, the other woman being his wife, after her.
Jack, I just want to put a pin in that. I promise you I'd be doing hard time.
Oh.
How dare you? As I carry our unborn child, you are telling some Instagram model that you would like to name half of me? Oh.
So she uploaded screenshots which appeared to show Adam privately messaging her.
Okay.
Saying, "It is truly unreal how effing hot you are. Like, it blows my mind. You are 50 times hotter in person."
Ugh.
That's nice. Later, apparently after months of no communication, Adam allegedly sent another message saying, "Okay, serious question. I'm having another baby. And if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. Are you okay with that? Capitals, dead serious." This is so much worse than the story that was put out just about, like, you know, the silly apology, haha, love your body, whatever. This is actually born from the pits of hell.
No, this is Satan himself.
Yeah.
Conceived
Adam
this.
Devil Levine.
I How dare you? How...
Can you spell the name Devil with his name? Yes, you can.
Well...
Yeah, you can. Devil are all in the name Adam Levine.
I guess it's a sign.
Go figure.
How dare you?
I'm actually in disbelief.
I'm sick, sickening, disgusting.
But at least he knows how to compliment someone. He said, "You're 50 times hotter in person." That's so nice.
How sweet of him.
If someone said that to me, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, and my Instagram photos clapped." But the positive is, thank you.
So online, my online persona is I'm an absolute munter. But the minute you see me, wow, I'm beautiful.
So beautiful, in fact, that I want to name my unborn son after you.
My son.
I know that. I know. That's what killed me.
That's the kick out.
I had to double check this in the research. And if it's a boy,
my baby boy,
I really want to name it after you.
After you.
So then he put up a public apology on Instagram saying he'd used poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner.
Now, this Instagram apology wasn't even done on main feed. It was done on stories. That means 24 hours later, he thought that was enough time to get the message across. A 24-hour apology.
But you know what? It has worked. That's the point. As in, maybe not for you, but like...
She stayed.
She stayed.
And
he's done the whole
anything.
PR thing of being seen out with her a lot after a little break of not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's going back to yoga and meditation. He's recommitting himself. He's returned to The Voice for the first time since 2019. The rehabbing of his image is well on track. They've been touring. And Maroon 5.
At the end of the day, that's...
The day gonna end.
That's what... the day is going to end. But what you need at the end of the day is just really good PR manager, because you can spin anything. I do think, though, it's quite iconic that Kristen, our babe, then after Adam had put this on his stories, Kristen goes onto Twitter and she goes, "When apologising for cheating publicly, I hate the 'we will get through it together' part from a man. Don't speak for her. You've done enough."
And
Slay.
as someone who has been through that herself,
Slay.
She was cheated on by her husband. Yeah, I just love Kristen. Do you think if Behati has accepted the apology, which clearly to some extent she has because they're still together, they've reached some form of situation, does our opinion as the public matter?
No.
I don't think it does. However...
Oh, wait, to who?
guess, well, exactly. Us, like you and me, what we actually think about it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But to an extent, it does, because they're people who are relying on the public for ticket sales and CDs and listens on radios and stuff. So I guess on an individual level, why do they care what individual people think?
Yeah.
But they do need to rehab their image.
I do think it's weird that the public feel like they deserve the apology.
Yes.
Like, I do think it's like, he needs to apologise. I'm a firm believer of, if the disrespect is in public, the apology must also be in public.
I totally agree. And my big thing on that is, it needs to be the same level.
Same level.
I hate when newspapers can publish something completely false on the front page, and then on the next day or a week later, on page 35 in tiny little font, we retract this.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. It needs to be with the same amount of vim.
Yeah. So however it's put out there is the way that the apology should hold the same weight.
Yeah.
So like with his, I don't think the Instagram story was enough, personally.
But then what would you do? Do a press conference?
I would say a press conference.
But I guess as a PR advisor, is it not like, we don't ever want photo or videos of you that can then be repeated and used forever as memes and stuff? Yes, it turned into a meme, the story, but his face isn't in it. It's just text. A lot of people wouldn't even know that was Adam Levine. They just know it was like that funny meme.
Or maybe like a spokesperson, like your lawyer.
Fine, so put a statement out.
Put a statement out. Like,
I just think, I think...
The way, I don't know, stories just feels disrespectful.
I agree. But
it could still be written, but, But yeah, it worked, and they, lived happily ever after to what we know, I guess. Yeah. Want to delve into more celebrity stories?
Stacey Dooley and Larry Dean analysed some of the most juicy and downright absurd controversies, both in public opinion and in court, on their podcast, Famously on Trial.
Listen to every single episode on BBC Sounds. Okay, so I want to look at another juicy scandal, which turned kind of, I don't know, one fandom into a frenzy. Like it was like lighting a matchstick, dropping it, and then the entire Amazon rainforest just blew up, okay? So I'm going to explain the era. It's 2012. Our beloved, amazing queen herself, Whitney Houston, passed away.
No, she's like my
She's your everything.
Honestly, growing up, it was Whitney.
50 Shades of Grey sparks a new wave of erotic literature.
Have you read it?
I have not read it, but I've watched the film.
I've not done either.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It gets, women over 40 hot and bothered. I love that for them.
Steamy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, who doesn't love a little steamy sesh with Carol from HR?
Keep digging, baby. Keep on digging.
Keep on going.
Who doesn't love a steamy sesh with Carol from HR? Go on, Susan.
Get your freak on, Carol.
Get that lace out. Helen.
Gangnam Style takes over the world and London is hosting the Summer Olympics, okay? So we are going to dive straight in. Twilight is huge. We've got Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, who are officially dating, okay? Confirmed in 2010. They are Hollywood's latest hit couple. They are the creme de la creme. Everyone loves them because also it was brewing for so long. We were wanting it. We were craving for it. Then it happened. July 2012, Us Weekly drops a bomb, okay? They publish photos of Kristen and her film director, Rupert Sanders. They just worked together on the film Snow White and the Huntsman. Next day, they both release public apology statements via People magazine. Also, slay that it was via People. I kind of like it when it's through a magazine.
Agreed.
I quite like that. I just think that gives class. We have a bit of decorum around here. We're not just typing on our notes app.
But are we not also getting money? Are we not also getting paid a bag by People to be exclusive?
Okay, maybe, but
I know I don't knock it. It's camp, but let's not say it's.
There's,
do you know what I mean?
There's a level of
financial gain.
Sure, because you just have to make everything so. Anyways, corporate. Kristen writes, I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him. I love him. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, you really went into it.
That was beautiful because I believed her.
I'm deeply sorry. There are three of us in this marriage.
I knew you were going to do. I knew you were going to do. There are three of us in this marriage.
I look quite pretty. They're all of me. Yeah, I think it's a big fat slay.
I thought if you were going to write an apology, short, sweet, but it felt real.
Yeah.
So after that, Jan 2013, Rupert's wife, Liberty, divorces him.
Yeah.
Okay. Fairs. Understood, babe.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Don't knock you. Love that for you. In May 2013, Kristen and Robert break up.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they probably maybe tried to make it work a little bit. Yeah. Who knows? In 2019, Kristen says she was slut-shamed and traumatized. Now, here's the thing. I want to look not only at the apology, but I feel like it's so different, the response that comes out when it's a woman who's done the indiscretion.
I agree, but can we also, before we even get to that, discuss the fact that Liberty, the wife, the ex-wife of Rupert, was an actress and co-star alongside Kristen in Snow White. How have we glossed over that?
The fact...
Which is mad, because the whole thing was, when the photos came out, the photographer had said, allegedly, they were all over each other on set and only stopped when someone was going to walk past.
Right.
Wifey is on set.
That's crazy. But the thing is, as well, do you think Wifey knew? Gut feeling?
No.
No?
Because she divorced him. If she knew... So do you think she only divorced him because she was public embarrassment?
Yeah. Which, that's a great enough reason for me.
Yeah, I agree. If the cheating ain't gonna do it.
If the cheating ain't gonna do it, you gonna embarrass me in these streets? I think the hell not.
Yeah.
This whole thing was mad. And I think, listen, because it was Kristen and Rob, there was, I think we always talk about parasocial relationships, but I think a lot of people felt like they should have been with Robert Pattinson, right?
Yeah.
They felt like, I am the chosen one. It should have been me. But since it's not me, fine. It makes sense that it's her because they've worked together. Were you one of those?
No, that was me at a Justin Bieber gig.
You thought...
So you're going to die.
You thought you should have been Selena?
Listen, I've got to keep an eye out for her. I know that much. So at the My World's 2.0 tour, I think it was, he would bring someone on stage for One Less Lonely Girl and he'd serenade them, kind of like how Janet Jackson always does, but less gyration.
Yeah.
And I firmly believed, I was in year 10, I think I was 14, 15. I honestly, hand on heart, believed I would be the first boy that he'd pull up to sing One Less Lonely Girl to. It didn't happen.
I'm not surprised.
No, it didn't happen at Sheffield Motorpoint Arena.
No. Also, how big was the arena? You thought he was out of the crowd.
And I was at the back as well.
Right. You are delusional.
I am.
You are delusional.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that till now. But I totally understand the idea that someone is so obsessed with a celeb.
I get it.
Tragic.
Because, I mean, this is going to be a really weird one, super niche.
Oh, God.
Remember JLS?
Yes. Arisha?
I was obsessed with Arisha.
Was it Arisha? Of course it was Arisha. Oh, my God.
I was obsessed with Arisha.
When everyone else wanted Aston,
you said,
Aston. Watch me stand
I don't want petite Aston.
Business. I want a man.
I want
to
Arisha.
Roll me around.
Chuck me around like a bag of rice, Arisha. I want you. And I would cut out his face from the group lineup. I'd cut out his face and I'd stick it. No, stick it next to mine. And I did like a wedding collage. I was too old to be doing this. I was about 15 years old. I loved him.
Did you ever purchase the condoms?
No, I didn't. I was too scared. What? I grew up in like African Christian house. And what am I doing with condoms? Oh my God, my parents would flip out. No, it was wholesome. It was sweet. It was
fine,
innocent. But I get it. Like you put yourself in that person's life. So I think a lot of people with Robert and Kristen were like, you know, if it's not me, it can be her because they have this history. So when she, you know, seemingly broke his heart publicly,
seemingly
she got dragged.
Seemingly broke his heart because in reality, he didn't even seem that arsed.
He didn't seem bothered at all.
It's iconic. What was it that he said? He went, shit happens, you know. It's just young people. It's normal. And honestly, who gives a shit? The hardest part was talking about it afterwards because when you talk about other people, it affects them in ways you can't predict. That is iconic.
Now, as an elder, looking back,
yes,
I now
and
think
you are an elder.
I am. Okay. The emphasis on "you are" was so unnecessary.
You better lay low.
I feel like for him, it was a PR relationship.
Hence why he wasn't asked.
That's why he wasn't bothered. And I think for her, she double loved him. She said it in a statement. I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
Double loved him.
I wonder if she knew that he wasn't in it. Hence why she'd be more okay cheating. We just may never know.
We never know. I mean, I just feel like if you're not as bothered...
Yeah.
It kind of helps maybe he was doing that also to just help her not get dragged. There's also that. Maybe he did it out of love, you know? He was kind of covering her, protecting her, if you will.
Yeah. I think her also, like, to get into the specifics of it, her apology was really good.
There was
a Guardian article in 2012 and they kind of analysed it and also gave tips on, like, how you do a good PR apology.
Yeah.
And the key points were to be first,
yes,
because it makes the other person play catch up, which did make him look bad because he played the whole apology to my beautiful wife and heavenly children, they are all I have in this world, which is just that tugging at the heartstrings thing of like, I am a family man. Well, if you were that much of a family man, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. They also said, use the word sorry.
Yes. Don't say, I apologise. There is a big difference. It should
not seem to be the hardest word.
I apologise is the doing, but I am sorry is you actually being sorry.
And so like Bill Clinton, for instance, said he deeply regretted in his 4-minute apology, but he never said sorry.
Yeah.
Whereas Monica Lewinsky, when she was being interviewed by Barbara Walters, I think it very well said, I wouldn't dream of asking Chelsea and Mrs. Clinton to forgive me, but I would ask them to know that I am very sorry for what happened, for what they've been through. Her apology was better than their dad and husband. So circling back to the Guardian article, they also said be brief. Nobody wants a notes app. Actually look sorry.
Yes.
This is the kicker, which is thanking your wife is not the same as apologising to her.
No.
Don't play the sympathy card. You're not the victim here.
Yep.
And don't ask for us to feel sorry for you, like Rochelle said. And also, I totally agree.
I can't stand excuses.
No.
I was going through XYZ, so it's not an excuse, but, well...
That's why the Adam thing of, like, he's recommitted himself to yoga and meditation.
Blah, blah, blah. Don't care.
His chakras not being aligned is not the reason he told someone else she was 50 times fitter in person.
Exactly. Like, aligned or not, you messed up.
You're an arse.
So get it together.
Yeah.
And, I shouldn't be feeling sorry for you when you've done... wrong. You should just come, apologise, and then go sort out
the audacity is actually mad, isn't it? That they would even go, oh, yeah, this is how I'm going to construct this.
Yeah. I want people to understand my point of view. Nobody cares about your point of view.
Yeah. Kristen Stewart has said in some of her apologies about her age and how young she was 22.
Yeah.
Like, that is young.
Anything I've done before the age of 25 should actually never be mentioned.
No, because that was the first half of your life.
Should never be mentioned. They were all bad decisions. I've wronged many people, but I was under the age of 25, so forgive me. Like, she got dragged. Twitter got her by the root of her hair and pulled her down the M4. She got dragged. And I feel
no
so
lay-bys,
bad for her.
just boom, 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 boom.
Speed bumps and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I felt so bad for her because there's also a thing about the power dynamics of that relationship. That is her director.
Exactly.
There's such a huge power imbalance there.
Yeah, it's the workplace.
She got shit for it. You know, I do feel for her. I think it's much harder for women. And also, sorry, let's just talk about how when a man does something and he says, I'm sorry, people are like, wow, he's so strong. Wow, he really, I believe him. Wow. Because it really came from his heart.
Well, it's also because men just don't apologise very often. So when they do, it's like...
But whenever a woman does, she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. They're like, oh, she's manipulative. Oh,
Totally.
She couldn't have won in that situation.
No, she couldn't. But time has been kind, I guess, to her in terms of her career is still there now. Also, a nice thing for her as well is that the films that she has been doing of late aren't necessarily all massive blockbusters, but they've been really well critically reviewed, which I wonder if sometimes, to start with this, because Twilight, obviously, by film buffs, isn't taken very seriously.
No.
And so I wonder if it's almost just this, it was more easy to dismiss her because it's like, oh, she's doing Twilight, oh, she's in Snow White, whereas now it's like...
critically acclaimed, indie films.
Great. Kristen Stewart now gives a very different connotation, even take out any cheating thing, just work-wise.
Absolutely.
Obviously to what it did 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I think also what's nice is that she's very publicly embraced her queer identity
Which
now.
I didn't know that she had basically only dated either
women
or
and non-binary people since, pretty much. I think it's almost exclusively since.
Which I love, and she's very open about it.
Yeah.
According to you.
She is, which is nice. I think it just, as a queer person, you never know how much of someone's, exterior and interior is like actually innate to them or actually is tied to their acceptance or lack thereof of sexuality. Like so much of my behaviour at school when I look back, I'm like, oh God, that was because I was uncomfortable with myself. So you wonder whether this is... I can't speak for her, and maybe she knew she was queer the whole time, who knows? But to me, it seems apparent that there's a real just like shaking off and a comfortability now with where she's at, and a lot of that I think is to do with sexuality.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can imagine how difficult it would have been for her, because also Twilight was kind of like so... I mean, obviously it was about vampires, but a lot of people like romanticized and sexualized that whole romance of it all. It was kind of like, you know, who will she date? Does she like both of them? Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I think that then coming off of that sequel of movies...
Agreed.
To then... you're trying to also find yourself and figure out who you are, and
doing that in
the public
eye, because like we said, she was 22.
Yeah.
Just having to go through that at 22, but then all that coupled with major blockbuster success and presumably grappling with her sexuality. Yeah. Would not wish that on anyone.
And compare that to now, where openly
seems
out,
so much lighter.
Lighter. Oh, good for her.
Yeah, agreed.
I love that. Love that for her.
So the last situation I want to talk about is the madness that was Dominic West's non-apology in 2020 outside the front of his house.
Crazy.
Okay, so overview here. There are photos of Dominic getting cozy with actor Lily James of Mamma Mia fame.
Yes.
In Rome, published in October 2020. Rumours circulated about an alleged affair. Alleged. The next day, Dominic and his wife of 10 years, Catherine Fitzgerald, who he has 4 children with. Four. Beyonce's favourite number.
Yeah.
Put on a united front, doing a couple's photo shoot outside their front door and telling the press, who had camped outside their house, our marriage is strong and we are very much still together.
Yes.
They also handed the media a note saying the exact same thing.
Written.
So it's kind of the equivalent of like, you know, when you said, the notes app screenshot and then the same thing above.
Yes.
They just did it. I don't know if it was an accessibility thing.
They just really wanted to drum the message in.
Or maybe they wanted it to like be able to be preserved in a museum.
Maybe.
In physical form. They continued to show that they were a united pair, often being papped together, doing regular things like going for a job.
Yes.
A jog.
A job.
A job. Yes, well, maybe he would need a new job after all this if it were to die down, but it didn't. It went okay for him. The couple are still together now. Nothing was said by Lily or Dominic at the time, but in April of this year, weirdly, Dominic finally addressed it. He said the experience had been deeply stressful for my wife and kids. There were lighter moments too. I actually can't believe he's saying this. I hesitate to speak on my wife's behalf because it was obviously horrible, particularly for her. But we do joke about it sometimes. Because whenever we went out together, the papers would always say we were putting on a show of unity. Even if we'd just been rowing about parking the car or whatever, even if that couldn't be further from the truth. And so when we go out, we do sort of say, shall we go and have a show of unity up in London? It was an absurd situation. That was the best that came out of it, really.
Oh.
What? I'm all for private jokes, but like, should we have a show of unity at dinner tonight, given my alleged infidelity on set?
With somebody who also plays my daughter.
Right. In front of our 4 children, a nice show of unity. Yeah. Yeah, bonkers, madness.
The thing is, this one was weird because it was addressed but not addressed. There was no apology.
I've never known anything like it.
It was so weird. And also, at the time, it was such a slow news moment because of the panic.
COVID. Yeah, exactly.
That it was kind of like, what are you doing?
Agreed.
Why are you stood outside of your house?
Do you know the standing outside the house thing as well really reminds me of, there was one of those scenes in Little Britain when it was like him and his wife just standing out the front and denying everything. It's like it associated in my head with denying something that obviously did happen.
Oh gosh, what a moment! But I feel like he thought that like, I'll just not make it a thing, therefore it won't be a thing. But not making it a thing
made it such a thing.
Because he made it not a thing in the most thingy way.
Yeah, it kind of became iconic by accident.
Yes.
So I want to look at whether addressing a crisis publicly is actually the best thing for your image. And I've got a little expert to help us with it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I do.
Well done.
It's host of the BBC Radio 4 podcast, When It Hits the Fan, Simon Lewis. He has decades of experience in managing a crisis. He was a former troubleshooter for the Queen and Gordon Brown, as well as major corporations like NatWest, Vodafone and British Gas.
I want him on my payroll.
Oh, yeah. Well, what scandals? You just said before you haven't got any scandals.
You know...
Or what, someone taking a photo of you talking to yourself in the mirror?
That would be super embarrassing. That would be so embarrassing.
That would be so embarrassing, and at least 3 people would care. So anyway, let's listen to something actually worth listening to.
Right.
I think apologising publicly is a good idea, but there's one big caveat. You've got to do it at the right time, and it's got to be authentic. If neither of those works, then you probably make the situation worse. I can think of a number of celebrities who have apologised in good time and people have believed it and it's helped them move on.
First of all, his voice is fantastic.
Yeah.
And also it's a voice of authority. Like if he told me, put the public statement up now, I would. I would say, yes, sir. Absolutely. But I do agree with him. I think accountability is the most important thing is accountability, like actually own up to what you're doing, like we said, and also say sorry. But it has to feel genuine. If it feels inauthentic or like disingenuous, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to read it.
No.
I have to feel like you actually have remorse for this thing. And I also appreciate it. You know, when like a celebrity does something and then they don't actively tell you, oh, I'm going to start doing A, B, C, D. You just see them doing works in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I agree.
That to me speaks more volumes than you just not.
But what I still think we're lacking here is any clarification, because he claims that nothing happened between him and Lily. That's what... As in, I agree with Simon's thoughts in general, and I think it speaks to what we said from the Guardian article from 2012 of like all the tips of things to do. I agree. But we're still none the wiser as to what happened and if anything did happen.
And I think there's also a world in which that is also okay.
Right. So the potential of denial.
Just don't even mention it. Didn't happen.
Right.
We will pretend.
And Lily's kept quiet about it, obviously, because as we've discussed, the likelihood is that she'd have been torn apart like a younger, beautiful woman.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like we said, the public embarrassment
Yes.
of actually coming out and being like, yes, I did cheat, is probably worse.
If there's not actual proof
Out there.
other than a hug on set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's better to just stand in your front lawn, look lovingly at your husband as he declares your marriage is strong.
I do think the note was camp.
Oh, and the handwriting.
Yeah,
yes.
camp.
Slay. Slay.
Okay, so maybe we've got time for Dom then.
I mean, listen, if we don't know if he did it or if he didn't. So
let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt.
The BOD.
Yeah, you know.
Well, we've actually got anher thought from Simon.
We do.
About how you can personally recover from a crisis. Maybe how you can personally recover from a crisis when your mirror monologues leak to the press.
Okay, here, I will take this advice with fervour. Fervour?
Fervour, I love that word.
I'm a wordsmith.
Wow.
I'm going to press play now.
The only way to rescue your image in a situation like this is to think about the long run. If the situation is bad and you've been caught in the eye of the storm, there's only one thing you could do, which is to slowly but surely rebuild your reputation. There are no quick fixes.
Yeah, I agree. And it speaks to what you said about do the work. Don't just say you will.
Yeah.
Thanks, Simon.
We love an expert in his field.
Yeah.
But also, he must have tea upon tea. Let's get Simon.
Oh, let's go for drinks with Simon.
Simon must have tea.
Yeah.
The Queen.
Yeah, Gordon Brown. The companies.
Oh my God. Real Housewives of Downing Street. I am here.
Real Housewives of Lewis.
Like, yeah. We need to go for, let's put a coffee in the diary.
No, it needs to be an Irish coffee. We need booze in it. We need him loose-lipped.
Yeah, to get him. And we'll sign an NDA. I just want to know the tea.
I won't.
You...
Yappa, yappa, yappa. I am a professional yapper.
And that is the difference.
It's Shanice. We've looked at a few examples now then of celebs apologising for things they've done in their relationships. Have your thoughts changed on whether celebs need to apologise in public?
My initial thought of if it's done in public, the apology should be in public stands.
And with the same severity of what the action was, yeah.
Same weight. And yeah, I feel like as long as it's authentic. And also, I think there should be something in your apology that's like, whether you've wronged your other half or you've said something that was ridiculous and stupid, there should be a case of like, I'm not expecting you to forgive me. All I can do is say sorry. Like,
which is what Monica Lewinsky said.
Exactly.
And she wasn't, she wasn't really the one who wronged.
Exactly. Like, I'm not expecting you to forgive me. I know I've done wrong. I'm just really sorry for the impact that this has had and for my actions. And
which is how this is not just a cheating thing, is it? That's an apology in general. That's what it should be.
Exactly.
An apology shouldn't be conditional.
Exactly. So, I think we will continue to have public apologies from celebrities. That will never change.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're done well, fine. And if they're not, we'll talk about them on Famously. Do you know what I mean? Has your opinion changed?
On you?
Stop it.
A lot.
Stop.
Yeah. Miss Mirror monologue.
And they're really good. They are really good.
Okay.
I usually watch a scene from like How to Get Away with Murder, and then I'm like, Viola,
and you
watch
do
me
Viola,
work.
Yeah. Or a Kerry Washington.
Oh, Kerry Washington, yeah. The teeth.
Scott Kira. Like quite tricky. Anyway, I would say no, because my opinions are always fully formed and 100% correct and unwavering. So no. I think I agree with you. I think it needs to be the same severity. I also do like a campness from a celebrity apology, like the Dominic West thing. Who cares if you did it or not? Yeah. If you were the owner of that handwritten letter, it'd be in a frame above my fireplace.
Literally.
Yeah. I like all that.
Yeah. It's good kitchen table talk. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. You can listen to Famously in Love on BBC Sounds or watch on BBC Sounds YouTube channel.
And remember, for more in-depth celeb stories and controversies, listen to Famously on Trial on BBC Sounds with Stacey Dooley and Larry Dean.
Bye for now.